Today we are talking about engagement on LinkedIn. As you may already have known, we are exploring LinkedIn for job search, and we have been covering quite a number of the different aspects of LinkedIn. We have covered the discoverability through the LinkedIn profile, and we have looked at the different ways through which you can increase the connections that you have on LinkedIn. As a matter of fact, I mentioned in one of my videos that you need to have a minimum of 500 plus in your city, and we covered different ways through which you can make that happen. Of which, one of the things that is important for you to observe here, or that you must absolutely figure out here, is your target audience. Those people that you hopefully want to connect with, that you want to speak to. For a job seeker, this is usually the recruiters, the hiring manager, but also your colleagues, absolutely, because your colleagues are aware of the information that you are looking for. Like, for example, the opportunities that are available in the market. One of the things I also observe is that recruiters would usually reach out to those who actually employ, and then if they're able to know about this, is something that they can share with you. One of the reasons why you have to be connected with a lot of folks who are already employed with the same job title as you are. Having said that, today we also need to build on the network, right? Last week we talked about how you actually can increase the number of people in your network, but this time around we're gonna focus in on building relationship, having connected with these people. How do you build a relationship with them? Besides that, how do you engage on LinkedIn even with those who are not yet in your network, so that in that manner you can expand your network? One of the key things to note really in this instance is the fact that there is an algorithm that works behind the scene which helps LinkedIn to encourage engagement and also to ensure that relevant postings or relevant content are being shared on their network. So that way it would encourage interaction. So when you post something on LinkedIn, the algorithm basically will rank the type of things that you have posted, be it video, be it text, and there are different things that LinkedIn or algorithm would use to rank your post. By the way, there are some simple things that you need to know already if you are gonna be able to engage successfully. That is, you want to discover other people within your network that you haven't really connected with already. So I'm going to show you some of the posts that I have done in the past and how they have done, and what are the things that I feel has led to their inability to perform or their ability to perform. And after that, we'll actually go into some tips to help your post to reach a lot of the audience that you are targeting, or to reach outside of your network. So those are the things that we're going to be talking about today, guys. We're going to look at the algorithm. We're going to look at those things that you can do in order to take advantage of how the LinkedIn algorithm works. Okay, let's get to it. Hi, my name is Abiodun Oke. If you haven't watched my video before, or you haven't seen my content before on YouTube, I'm a supply chain management consultant. I help foreign professionals who are looking to get back into their career in Canada. So in the past few months, I've been covering the LinkedIn series for job search. This in order to help with networking and also to help job seekers understand how to do networking on LinkedIn, since this is the one option that we now have for job searching and getting referrals. And I'm sharing a lot of insights in all of these areas that will help job seekers to be able to increase or get more chances of being discovered by recruiters on LinkedIn, and also of obtaining referrals through hiring managers that are able to see them on LinkedIn. Of the signals that LinkedIn algorithm uses in ranking a post, ranking a post then is what determines how that post is shared, the number of people it's shared with, and if LinkedIn should continue to share this post or basically stop distributing it. The reason here is that LinkedIn wants to promote original content that are relevant, that engages interaction on their platform. So if there is any signal that indicates that the post that is being shared by a user is a spam, then the LinkedIn algorithm has a way that it detects it. And this is based on these three things that is being shown here. The personal connections, in this case, where the personal connections being the posts are mostly personally related to members. LinkedIn takes implicit and explicit signals into consideration. It considers who you've interacted with directly through comments, shares, and reactions. And these are the people that LinkedIn originally or immediately shares your post with. But guess what? This might be just about 10% of the people that are within your network. Guess what? This is the reason we say you need to have at least about 500 people. Imagine 10% of that. I mean, that's a very little number. So once LinkedIn has shared with this little group of people, then let's move on to the second one. Then the interest relevance, okay, will be the next thing that LinkedIn will use. So you may be personally connected with someone, but that doesn't mean you enjoy the same content, right? So they want to make sure that this content is shared with people who absolutely have interest in those type of content that you are sharing. So the LinkedIn algorithm measures the post affinity to someone's interest that is based on the group in which they are, and the hashtag that you use or the hashtag that they have indicated they're interested in following, the people and pages that they also follow. So the algorithm also looks at the language of the post, the companies, people, and topics mentioned in it. This is how LinkedIn determines the relevance to the person that they are sharing those content with. Then finally, the third one here, it's about interaction. So here, first, the algorithm evaluates the likelihood that you will share, comment, or react to a post. It may measure this based on the content you've liked and shared in the past, as well as who you interact with mostly frequently. LinkedIn calls this the multi-objective optimization. And secondly, as LinkedIn puts it, the model also takes into account timely feedback to content creators. Where this is important is if you post uh, on LinkedIn, the sooner people start making comment and sharing and liking it, the more then that the LinkedIn algorithm ranks it for sharing even with more people. So you need then to make sure that when you post something out there, that you have the necessary ingredients that makes it to get people to interact. And I will look at some of these things. But before that, how about let's look at some of the posts that I've shared in the past, and then I will show you some of the things that when you post on LinkedIn, because we know that LinkedIn ranks using the type of interaction that are going on, the likes and maybe comments, then it is always a very good strategy to share your posts within maybe your network outside of LinkedIn so that they can help to read it first and they can like it, they can make comments. That really helps a lot. So let's look at some of my posts. The one I like to actually show you guys is this one. So one thing is storytelling. It really works on LinkedIn. If you tell a story, everybody is, can relate with a story. We're all wired up for stories, and story also has a way that it relieving our emotions, kind of. So this is something that I've shared before, which really garnered a lot of attention. 51 likes, 25 comments. Wow. The interaction, as you can imagine, was really great. Look at all of that. Look at all of that. This is one of the things that LinkedIn uses in establishing if a post should be shared with a larger number of people within your network, because the interaction is clear that people are interacting with this post, right? And one of the things that I always would encourage people then is to use hashtags. You see these hashtags here, this hashtag relates to the people that I'm targeting on LinkedIn. Basically, these are people who are job searching. They probably will be following this. Then immigrant and mentoring. So, and I also use this one, which is basically, something that relates to me. This is my own name as an hashtag as well. So this is one of those posts, where it really reach very, very broad connections, wider connections on my LinkedIn posts. Even a lot of people that I haven't met before, people that I have not been connected with on LinkedIn, reached out and they were connecting with me as a result of that. Okay, so that's one of the things that you realize in those these signals that the algorithm uses. So I just showed you that, so you see some of the things that works well on LinkedIn. Here is, I think there's another one I'd like to show you guys. When LinkedIn talks about the last one here, which is about engagement probability. So I'll show you one where I actually had encouraged people on my network to post and comment on this particular post right here. You see, I was tagged in this post. Here's my name here. And well, I shared this with my network and I told them that they should basically like and comment on this. The reason why I encourage them to do that is because a lot of people will be hanging out here who are their colleagues and they want to use the opportunity to meet and connect with a lot of their colleagues, because these colleagues are the source of opportunities, because they will be sharing information that add value to them. So they want to be here. These are where their guys are hanging out, and it's also very beneficial that they hang out here. So I told them to like these things, and I told them, look, this thing is gonna go viral. At that point, it was just about 40 likes, but look at what it is today. 109. I still see people commenting on this particular post every day, every day. Look at that, 70 comments. 70 comments. That's huge interaction going on right here, which LinkedIn also use to even push this more, to a lot of people within this guy's network. And one thing I also, you might have noticed, is that there's sometimes you see somebody post showing up like 3 days, 2 days like that later in your feed. The reason here is because that particular post didn't quite gain traction until maybe the second day or the third day that LinkedIn has verified that it's actually a post that should be shared, and that's why you see that it's showing up some few days later. Here are some 5 tips that I would like to share with you having understood how the LinkedIn algorithm works. Okay, here is number one. LinkedIn doesn't support content that are non-native to it. So if you share a link, say for example to YouTube, or you share a link to some other platform, then it means that you are taking traffic out of LinkedIn, which is not something they encourage. So because of that, do not use links in your posts that are external, that are non-native on LinkedIn. If you want to maybe direct some people to your post somewhere else outside of LinkedIn, then put that in the comment section. Okay, I have a question or a kind of a hook to start out your post. That way, you know, it gets people interested in knowing more, and then they click on your post so that it shows the remaining portion, because usually LinkedIn won't show everything in the update that people are seeing in their feeds. So if you have a little hook that get people interested, then they can likely click on it. You want to make sure that your LinkedIn posts are readable. You use a lot of white space and simple short sentences. That way it is easy for people to read. That's also another way to help your LinkedIn posts to reach larger part of your network based on this algorithm things we already discussed. I also like to mention regarding tagging people. Make sure you tag people that would respond, because that in that way it would help. LinkedIn use interest relevance in ranking posts, so you want to put some hashtags because people are following these hashtags, and it helps if you immediately get people who are interested in those hashtags to see your post, because there's a possibility that LinkedIn will share with those people. Another thing you need to note here, of course, you need to interact with your posts on LinkedIn, right? You can't just post and then go away. The potential is that that post would not reach far and wide just because you are not interacting. Remember, there's this engagement probability signal that the LinkedIn algorithm uses. So meaning that if they see more of interaction in your post, then there's the possibility that it will be ranked high by the algorithm, and then it gets shared to more people. Because of course LinkedIn want to encourage interaction on their platform. Okay, finally, well, in the very first hour of your post on LinkedIn, it's very important that people are sharing, or people are commenting and they're liking, and there are some comments in that. And this is the reason why we do all of the things we said earlier, by tagging people, by using hashtags, using a little question that asks people some questions that could then encourage interaction in the comment section. This is all aimed at ensuring that there is interaction, there's engagement with your post, and this really help it to rank very high on LinkedIn. So that's the last one I'm going to share today, but I hope that you like the content that I've shared. If you haven't watched all the LinkedIn video series that I've shared for job seekers, please check this playlist where I have all the previous posts. And if you like my content, absolutely hit on that subscribe button for updates on any other new content that I'm going to be sharing. Hopefully the next time I'm looking to share about job search tools on LinkedIn. Thanks for joining me. If you like the content, please hit on the subscribe button. I will be looking forward to see you next week when I share even about job search tools on LinkedIn. Thank you and bye for now.